Podbean and Transistor are two of the most popular podcast hosting options on the market. Both fantastic tools, but which one is the right fit for you and your show? We're going to find out. When it comes to picking the right podcast host, it really comes down to three core things: features, support, and price. So we're going to walk through each of those categories for these two hosts to help you with your choice. Before we get into the features, something I want to stress about Podbean is it's for a pretty particular person. They give you a ton of features to really customize things and make it a little more high tech and your own unique feel, which you'll see when I go through the features. So they definitely gear themselves towards a specific kind of podcaster. So if you like diving into tech, really making it your own, Podbean's probably the perfect fit for you, and you'll see why. Like any podcast host, Podbean allows your show to be found across the different directories where people consume shows, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other players, which is the point of a podcast host, because if people can't find your content, they can't listen to it. Podbean also gives you a podcast studio, which is an easy to use audio recorder app that you can use to create the content that you distribute. Podbean also has live stream functionality, which allows you to capture high performing audio without any limits. And this is a very unique feature to Podbean that for certain situations makes them the obvious no-brainer choice. They also have a podcast app for you as the podcaster, as well as for listeners, that acts as a podcast player. And a ton of people are using this app to consume podcasts. So that's a huge advantage that you get through using Podbean. And as a creator, you can actually manage your show within the app as well. They recently launched Podbean AI, which uses AI to give you a ton of benefits. The first category is AI audio optimization. And this uses AI for noise reduction, intelligent leveler to level out different mics to make it sound as smooth as possible, cut filler words and silence, plus filtering and auto EQ. So basically it uses AI to make your content sound as good as possible without additional work for you as the creator. They also have AI generated content tools. And with these, you can automate titles and show notes to make it more click worthy and easier to find across different directories. There's AI enhanced transcripts to make it more accessible, and precisely crafted chapter markers to help viewers find exactly what they're looking for. And all of these tools just really make it a better experience for your listeners without any additional time to you. And all of these things used to take a lot of time if done manually. So they're using AI to make that as seamless as possible. The next batch of features is all about monetization, and they give you a ton here as well. They have their own ads marketplace that makes it easier for you to find sponsors. They have patron and paid content options so that you can sell to your listeners exclusive content and access to you and your show. They have Apple Podcasts subscription integration, so you can sell subscriptions through the Apple Podcast platform. And they have dynamic ad insertion capability. And what this allows you to do is change content within already published content. And in this example, it would be ads. So for example, you have an ad, let's say in the beginning, the middle, and the end. You can change this content, since it's dynamic, at any point in time, which is a huge tool for you as a podcaster, because even if you approach a new sponsor, you can sell sponsorship across your previous catalog of content as well. So a massive tool for making money. The cons when it comes to Podbean, because of course, like anything, there are some, is that you do have to pay per podcast. So if you do want to host multiple podcasts, you're going to have to pay additionally for another Podbean plan for that show, except on their highest plan. If you go for their highest plan, you can host multiple shows. Podbean AI, one of their latest features, is also a paid upgrade after the 2-hour free trial. So if you want to take full advantage of all those benefits, you will have to pay additionally on top of your subscription for the podcast hosting. I want to make that as clear as possible for you. And also with all these different tools, to take full advantage, you're going to have to learn their ecosystem and how to best use them. Luckily, they're pretty active with their community. They create a ton of content and resources to help you do this, but you will have to invest a bit of time to take full advantage of these tools. But if you're this kind of person that would be drawn to Podbean, probably not an issue for you because you like this stuff anyways, and you're probably drawn to them for the specific things that you can do with Podbean that you can't with other hosts. Podbean also gives you unlimited audio hosting across their paid plans, as well as video hosting for certain plans. So you don't pay additionally for how much content you're uploading or even how many people are downloading it. They also give you a professional podcast website, and they have a ton of customizable themes so that you can make this look any way that you want. And there's a ton of customization when it comes to the website that you can create for your show through Podbean. When it comes to support, Podbean has a very good track record when it comes to customer satisfaction. They've been able to be a main player in the game for a long time because they serve their customers right, and they get back to you if you actually have a problem. With that being said though, live customer support is only accessible to those users on their highest plan. So just keep that in mind. For pricing on Podbean, they do have a completely free plan that comes with some basic features, but most users will end up upgrading to one of their paid plans. And those start at $14 when paid monthly, or $9 per month when paid yearly, and range up to $99 per month when paid monthly, or $79 when paid yearly. And as mentioned already within the features section, their plans come with unlimited storage for both audio and video, depending on the plan that you go with. So there won't be additional expenses to you if you decide to upload more content per month or if your show grows dramatically. You only pay more if you want access to certain features within that tier, which is pretty nice. You know what you're getting into and it's not going to scale up even if your show goes to the moon. So who is Podbean best fit for? Podbean is fantastic for tech savvy people with unique needs fit to Podbean's really unique features. They have some features that no other podcast hosts really have. And for the people that are drawn to that, it makes Podbean an absolute no-brainer. Transistor, like every podcast host, allows your show to be found across the different directories like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other places where people listen to podcasts. Before we dive into features, I want to stress this about Transistor. It's very easy to use. That's one of their core focuses. So if you're not a super tech savvy person and you hear the features that you're looking for, Transistor might be the perfect fit for you. And those features are AI transcriptions for your episodes to make it as easy as possible to make it more accessible. You can have unlimited shows on one plan. So basically, if you pay for one plan, you can have as many podcasts as you want on that plan at no additional expense, unless you go over the threshold of downloads associated with your plan. I'll explain more of that later when we get to pricing. They give you analytics for your show or shows. They have dynamic ad tools so you can adjust content even after it's been posted. They give you a podcast website that is customizable with a podcast website builder. They also give you an embeddable podcast player that you could put onto an existing website to make your show or certain episodes easy to access. They offer integrations to other popular podcasting tools to help with your workflow and make it as seamless as possible. You can also add team members to help manage your shows, and they give you the option to host private podcasts as well, which a lot of businesses love for internal content that they want to keep for a few select people. The cons when it comes to Transistor is that there's not a ton of tools here. It's a fairly simple product by design, so there are other podcast hosting options that definitely give you more bells and whistles, but Transistor does what it does extremely well and comes with some really awesome features. But there are definitely other options out there with way more bells and whistles. That's not what Transistor is. They want to do what they do it really well, and make it very easy. When it comes to support on Transistor, they have very solid live and reliable customer support, and they have a growing library of content over on their YouTube channel to help you better use their tools and grow your show more effectively, as well as a blog where they publish content to help you do the same things. Pricing for Transistor is pretty straightforward. Plans start at $20 per month when you pay monthly and go all the way up to $99 per month when paid monthly. You can get a discount on any of their plans if you do decide to go for the yearly option. If you do that, it brings their cheapest plan down to $16 per month. And all their plans are based on downloads for your shows attached to your Transistor account. And so you only ever need to upgrade if you reach that threshold for downloads across your content. And honestly, the vast majority of podcasters will be able to get by on their cheapest plan for quite a bit of time. And by the time you need to upgrade, you're going to be making enough money from your show where it's not going to be a big deal. So who is Transistor best for? Transistor is perfect for non-techie podcasters or new podcasters that want to run multiple shows or have private podcasting as a priority. There are other simple podcast hosting options, but those other tools don't have the private functionality and the unlimited shows. So if those things are important for you and you're not a super techie person or don't want to deal with a ton of tools, Transistor is a fantastic tool that is constantly growing in popularity because they do what they do and they do it extremely well. So whether you want to go with Podbean or Transistor, they're both linked down below, and using those links can get you completely free trials for each. And using those links supports the channel at no additional cost to you. So thank you in advance for doing so. And also definitely let me know which option you're going with in the comment section. I love to hear what other podcasters are using and why. And since you're a podcaster looking to grow your show and make more money from it, make sure you subscribe to this channel and our free newsletter. We publish content exclusively for podcasters to help them do just that. Turn their dream show into a profitable business and grow a loyal audience. YouTube thinks you'll like this video right here. I'll see you in the next one, and happy podcasting.